Welcome to a new movie. The hostess asks a passenger about his favorite drink. As she pours it for him, she is shocked when one of the drugged poor people suddenly wakes up. We discover that they are kidnapping the poor on a plane, and they are the victims who will be hunted. One of the rich people steps forward to handle the situation and manages to calm the kidnapped passenger, but then he uses a pen and stabs him brutally in the neck. The passenger resists and attacks them with a bottle in self-defense, but one of the rich women stabs him in the eye with her high heel. He falls dead, and they order to put him with the rest of the poor in the back of the plane. One of the poor wakes up, tied up, not knowing where she is, and sees another woman tied up like her. But the other woman easily frees herself, as if she had been kidnapped before. Everyone gathers in a yard and sees a wooden box in front of them. One of them steps forward to open it, and everyone becomes scared of this strange place. They hide to discover that inside it is a small pig and a large collection of weapons. They run to arm themselves, and the girl finds the key to the shackles and starts freeing people. Among them is a man who puts a gun in her hand to defend herself. She says she has never used weapons before, so another man shows her how to shoot. Suddenly, they are surprised by bullets raining down on them from all sides, not knowing what is happening. The woman who took the gun is shot in the head, and her head explodes completely. Another woman runs but falls into a pit filled with iron spikes that pierce her body brutally. A man comes and pulls her out of the pit, and they continue on the road together until they step on a mine and both explode. The woman falls back into the pit, takes the gun from the man, and kills herself after losing half of her body. The rest of them run until they reach a fence, hoping to escape this horrific place. They realize that what is happening to them is what has been spreading on the internet for a while, about a group of rich people hunting people for fun. One of them is hit by an arrow in the back. He decides to stand and look for who is shooting at him, but unfortunately, he dies. The remaining three run until they find a supermarket and enter it. They see an old man and woman. They tell them that they were kidnapped. The man asks them where they are. The old woman says they are in Arkansas, which surprises them because this state is far from all of them. The man takes the phone and calls the police, telling them what happened. The officer asks them not to move until help arrives, but the man feels something strange, and the woman with them eats something from the supermarket and gets poisoned. Suddenly, the old couple put on masks and throw gas bombs at them. The old woman takes a rifle and hits the man with it. When they are sure they are all dead, they throw them into a room. A woman calls them and tells them that Crystal is coming to them unarmed, and they can have fun hunting her. After a while, Crystal arrives, cautious of them. She asks them about the state they are in. The old woman says they are in Arkansas, so Crystal gives her money to buy cigarettes. When she takes the cigarettes and the rest of the money, she hits her head. Then she jumps to take the rifle, kills the old man, and tells the old woman that cigarettes in Arkansas are not worth this price, then kills her too. When she opens the room, she sees the bodies, takes the rifle, and goes out to prepare for what is coming. She sees a car in front of her, and before she gets in, she discovers that it has wires connected to a bomb that will explode when the door is opened. She goes to hide and hears them on the walkie-talkie that was with the old woman, saying they will send a drone to scout the supermarket. She sees the drone, and suddenly someone shoots it and destroys it. A man appears in front of the supermarket and finishes off the drone. Before he goes towards the car, Crystal catches up with him before the car explodes on him. Crystal understood that he was among the victims, so she decided to take him with her. While walking on the rail, she learned from him that he had been writing journalistic articles about the rich hunting humans for fun. Suddenly, a freight train came from behind them, so they quickly ran alongside it to board. Crystal helped the man who almost fell, and he boarded with difficulty. When they entered, they heard voices and prepared to fight. People appeared claiming to be refugees, but Michael told Crystal that they were definitely followers of the rich. He wanted to shoot them. Suddenly, the train stopped, and the army forces were in front of it. They all got off and were searched. Michael told them he was American and that these were criminal killers. It turned out that the army forces did not understand English. A man told Michael to shut up and that he would give him a chance to escape first before they hunted him too. His fears were confirmed, and he attacked, taking a grenade from him and putting it in his pants. They all started running, and the grenade exploded, completely destroying him. The army decided to take them to the camp to learn their story. Crystal asked the translator about the country they were in, and he replied, "Where do you think you are, ma'am?" She said she had been drugged in a restaurant in Mississippi and woke up here. She told him that from what she saw, she thought she was in Serbia or Croatia. They brought her a man who repeated the same story and was one of the victims Crystal had met when they opened the box. He kept talking to her, but she didn't want to speak with him. An American embassy official came to take them with him. Crystal was not reassured, especially when the official talked to her about the reasons the rich hunt the poor and that they definitely choose certain people. Crystal felt he was in on it, so she kicked him in the face and threw him out of the car, then stomped on his head until he was completely dead. The man kept screaming at her for what she had done until he fell silent when he saw Michael's body in the car trunk with a knife in his neck. He asked her to escape now and take advantage of their opportunity, but Crystal told him a story about the rabbit and the tortoise, where the rabbit was sleeping, thinking the tortoise wouldn't win the race. The man didn't understand anything. Meanwhile, the rich were in the hideout waiting for the official to bring leaving them Crystal and Dawn to enjoy killing them. One of them went out to urinate, and Dawn appeared carrying a pig. Crystal came from behind and slaughtered him. The pig was thrown into the hideout, and they all got scared and shot the pig until it died. Crystal appeared and shot one of them, blowing his head off. She started killing the rest, and it turned out they had no experience using weapons, except for one who was a former soldier. He was the one training them. He told her, "You think you can kill us all?" Crystal managed to deal with him and attacked the girl using arrows, stabbing an arrow into her stomach. When the soldier got up again, she started hitting him with all her strength and skill. She took an iron rod and beat him with it until he surrendered. Dawn entered after she had killed them all. Crystal asked the girl who was shooting arrows, "Why are you doing this?" She replied, "We enjoy our time." Crystal shot her in the head. Suddenly, Athena spoke on the walkie-talkie and asked Dawn if he had killed Crystal, but Dawn told Crystal that he was not one of them and that she was deceiving her. She asked him to drop the weapon immediately, and when he refused, she killed him. She told Athena that she had killed all her followers, and Athena replied, "It's time for us to meet." Crystal sat talking to the soldier, blaming him for training these scum to kill humans. He told her he was forced to do so because of the debts he owed to Athena. He refused to tell her Athena's location until she pressed hard on his wound. He told her about the palace where Athena lived and confirmed that he didn't know what awaited her there. He told her that Athena had been training for 8 months and would kill her. Crystal told him that she was a soldier in the special forces and her combat skills were high, able to use all kinds of weapons easily. She killed him and set off to Athena's palace. We go back in time a little when Athena was in her company, sitting with one of her partners, talking to her about a data breach and their private messages being leaked. Among them was a group chat where Athena said the hunting date was approaching and they would enjoy killing the wretched at the farm. He confirmed that the matter had spread widely and would cause problems for the company. Therefore, she would be removed from her position as the company's director. But Athena didn't care except to know who wrote articles about them. When she found out, she gathered her wealthy partners and showed pictures of the people who wrote about the hunting topic. They identified them as new targets to kidnap in the forest and hunt. Crystal appeared on the screen because she had written an article about Athena, attacking her strongly and insulting her. This made Athena want to take revenge on her more and enjoy killing her. We return to the present time where Crystal had reached the palace and Athena was talking to her on the microphone. She tells her about the explosives under her feet and that she could kill her now in a moment, but there is no fun in that. She asked her to drop the weapons if she wanted to enter. Crystal had to drop the weapons. Athena opened the door for her and told her that she knew everything about her. Her father died of addiction and her mother died after him from an overdose. Athena blamed her for what she wrote on the internet because the matter wasn't real, so they decided to make it real after publishing about it. But Crystal told her the palace actually existed, and all of this was real. Her father never took drugs, and her mother was still alive. She was someone else, and there was another woman in her area with the same name. But Athena refused to believe she had made this stupid mistake, and the fight began between them. Crystal took the knife and tried to kill her. Athena was well trained and managed to resist. She retaliated with strong blows, but felt that Crystal was very strong and wouldn't be able to defeat her. She took the rifle and chased her with it. Crystal jumped to grab the rope, but it broke. She came down to her and managed to stab her with the knife. Athena thought she had won over her, but Crystal hugged her and plunged the knife into her stomach. They both fell, drenched in their blood. Athena asked her, "Are you really Crystal who published the article?" But Crystal told her she had kidnapped the wrong person. Athena died from her wounds. Crystal managed to treat herself. She wore one of Athena's dresses and went to the plane with the gun. She told the pilot and the hostess that she had killed them all because they tried to kill her. They were afraid of her, and the pilot moved the plane to America. The hostess served her caviar, and she ate it, enjoying herself. The end. Please support the channel by subscribing, liking, and commenting.